Good morning. Wait and see if anybody shows up. If not, this will be here for you. This will be here for you. Good morning, Kate Got a Body. How you doing this morning, hon? Yeah, I'm gonna share my mother's recipe for salmon croquettes. I've been trying to get to this recipe for a couple of weeks because I thought I'd share it. And she was my mother was from Texas, so it's the southern recipe. Hi, Miss Mayberry. It's the southern recipe, and so it's her recipe, and I guess maybe my grandmother's recipe. I don't know, but I got it you know from her, and it's how I make mine. Now I've changed a lot of things that she did. Hey, Valerie Horn, how are you, hon? So I changed a lot of things. It's a quick and easy meal. Um, there's some details and that sort of thing. I hope you have a. Oh, you do? Oh, yeah, I do too. I love them too. I love salmon croquet, honey. I really do. Um, it's something that is a staple, more or less, in my life. And to be honest with you, that's all I knew about salmon growing up was salmon croquets. I was grown, and somebody went to the store and brought me back like a real piece of salmon. And I said, "What am I supposed to do with this?" I said salmon, and they brought me, real, salmon that's not in the can. And I said, "What am I supposed to do with this?" You know. And so I had to eventually learn how to, prepare, like I call it a chunk of salmon because it's different. But anyway, let me do this for you right quick. And you first have to start with a can of salmon, the larger cans, not the little ones that look like tuna cans, but the larger cans. Now I get mine now from Trader Joe's because it's more or less wild salmon. It's pure, don't have any dyes put in it, that kind of stuff. So, so that's what you start with. And the other thing you have to have onions, and about a quarter of an onion diced, salt, pepper, egg, cornmeal, um, rice, and you can substitute that with rice flour or um, wheat flour. You know, and so the way she did it, she'd take it out of the can, and then she'd take out those, I call them the funny bones. They look so strange to me. And um no, not jack mackerel, mayberry, salmon in the can. But back then it was red salmon, that's what it find out they put all those dyes in there, you know. Maybe you can make your own, honey. Make some for her. So anyway, so you get your can and you debone it, and then you pull off that slimy skin stuff, you know. Excuse my descriptions, but that's how I think of it, the slimy skin, and just get it off of there because I don't see no um purpose in it. So after you do that, then you make sure that there's no extra bones anywhere else. And then you just kind of, flake it around a little bit, with a fork, make sure that it's consistent. Then you add the onion, and you dice up the onion, about a quarter of an onion, and you dice it up and you put it in there with it. And then after that, you get one egg and you put the egg in there and you stir it all up. And then you get like 2 pinches of salt and 2 pinches of pepper. Okay. And put it, whip it all up, whip it all up. Now, my mother used cornmeal, okay, which is really good. But for purposes of starting to eat healthier, I started using rice flour or wheat flour. And it just, that's according to taste of what you want to do. And so after you get it all mixed up together, then you put I put the flour on a plate. I don't know what anybody else does, but I get one of the big spoons, the big kitchen spoons, and I get each one, get a spoonful, then put it on there into the flour. And then after you use up the whole can, you take it and you roll them over in the flour, but you also put them in the palm of your hand and you squeeze them either flat or oval. But that gets some of that excess water out of there. You do that. Now, you have to heat your oil. And the oil that my mother used was Crisco. Okay, I'm keeping it real. I use olive oil. Okay. And the olive oil I use is, what they call it, first cold pressed olive oil. And let that heat up a little bit. And then you put each one in there and you cook them until they're like golden brown, like this picture on the avatar. You cook them like that. And once they're brown, you take them out and put them on a paper towel and in a plate and get any excess oil or whatever out of there. But also what you can do, what my mother did, yes. What my mother did, the way she served it with not spaghetti. She would boil some spaghetti and she would put um after she drained it and everything, she would get like a can of whole tomatoes and cut them into quarters and put that in there with it and the juice. And then she would put pepper and salt and, stir it up. And she would put a little bit of garlic garlic powder in there. And oh, it was so good. And I might go make me some today. And so after you do that, you let that cook and, whatever. She was, to have this cooking simultaneously. But my mother, when she made sweet peas, this is what she did. She drained off the juice from the can, okay? And once she drained it off, she would put like, a quarter of a cube of butter in there and pepper, and she put like 2 pinches of sugar in it and put that up together. And there you have your salmon croquet meal. I could not eat salmon croquet if I didn't have that spaghetti stuff the way she made it or the sweet peas. And like, some people say rice and biscuits. People have everything else, but you might want to try this, And um, I can tear it up. I'm telling you. Valerie, you want some right now. But um yeah, okay, got a body, you know, use this recipe and surprise her. Have her come over or whatever, and or you go over there, however you want to do it. And it's really a no fault recipe. You really can't mess it up. Okay. Um, like I said, you can use the cornmeal if that's your preference. But, for health reasons, I use either the rice flour or the wheat flour. I don't use white flour anymore. And it's delicious. And I'm telling you, my mother had to make like 3 cans of it, okay, at one time because she knew that everybody was going to be coming around wanting some of it. So that's her recipe. And my mother she was 97 when she passed away. And what she did was um, at 96, she was still cooking. Okay. Um, she would, she couldn't snap beans, so we had to snap the beans because she didn't like the beans and string beans in the can, that kind of thing. So that's kind of how I grew up watching her cook. But if you try this recipe, please let me know what you think about it. What you said? Who is this? Maybe are you gonna? Maybe I think you need to do it yourself for her. You know. So anyway, you all have a beautiful Sunday. I may make some salmon croquet today too, because the more I think about it. But make sure that when you put the egg in there, that you make sure it's all together. Stir it up, for consistency because the egg holds it together. Okay. And I think you really enjoy it. And it's pretty quick too. So, you know, yeah, I know how to do it. My mother was a great cook. She made pecan pies and honey, Patty LaBelle didn't have nothing on her. Okay. They were so good that people would ask her to make one for them, and they wanted to pay her, and she said no, just you don't have to do that. And they said, well, let me buy the ingredients. She said, well, I got all the ingredients here except for the potatoes. So she was a great cook. She really was. And at 96, and like the year she passed away, um because she passed away in December. um so for that particular year, I had to make her dressing, and she made real homemade dressing with cornbread and bread and all this stuff. And she sat there and looked at me, and then she said, now do this, now do that, go in there and do this, and go in there and do that. And it really it turned out good. But we were sitting down eating, she just smiled at me. She said, you need a little bit more salt. So anyway, everyone, enjoy it. And yeah, Valerie Horn, it was definitely a blessing. But when it's your mom, it's never enough time. Like I said, she was cooking at 96, but at 97, when she turned 97, around that time, she couldn't do it anymore. But she wanted to. But we did it. All of us, we did it for her. So anyway, enjoy. Will you guys please come back after you do it, Valerie and Maybear and K Got a Body, and let me know how it worked out for you. Okay, I'd be really interested to hear. I don't know what pushed me to do this, but I've been trying to do it for 2 weeks. I just wanted to share something with you all that that's practical and quick, inexpensive, and easy. So you guys have a beautiful rest of your day and enjoy your Sunday. Okay. Bye-bye.